All right, landlords, rent reporting. I think this is a pretty big topic, and I feel like every single landlord should understand what rent reporting is. They should really start using it. And, every single landlord in all of North America can report rents to Equifax. So we do it through our own system, LandlordEzy.ca. So we can report rents from every single tenant in Canada. So I think it's super important that this happens. This is new to the industry. So a lot of landlords may not be aware of it. It's starting to become, one of them topics, those hot topics, keywords where landlords are looking for rent reporting. And I'll tell you all the reasons why it's so very important. But every landlord can do it all across Canada. And I think that you should do it too. And it's really cost effective. It's not that expensive. So us at Landlord Easy, we do it directly through the platform. It's as little as $4.99 per tenant. And if you have more tenants, it actually gets cheaper. So check out the website. You can see all the membership pricing there. And not only this, you don't only get the rent reporting with us, you get all kinds of property management software systems. You get the e-lease signing. You can do and manage all of your rent collection processes. It's going to send reminders to your tenants. You can do 24-hour notices. There's a whole list of items that it's going to help every single landlord in this industry. But this video is on rent reporting, and no matter what platform you use, I think that it is important. You need to do it. It's going to help you get your rents faster from your tenants. There's just so many different reasons why it's really great. So let's jump into that right now. And that way, you as a landlord, you can decide whether this is a good idea to do, um, and whether it's worth the extra cost to do as well. So um, when tenants know that rent is being reported to Equifax, they take the rent seriously and they pay on time. So since we've been doing this, tenants are paying literally like a day before. Like today is October 31st, and our emails and our systems are going ding 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 with all these tenants paying rent. And that's because we report the rent. And they want to pay on time because as soon as their rent is late, then it's reported late. So yeah, you're gonna start seeing tenants paying a day or two early, and you'll start noticing this right away. So it's a proven system, and it encourages tenants to pay rent on time. Um, so also, if the rent is not paid on time, it's going to affect the credit of the tenant. So a few good scenarios with this is, let's say you're a landlord and you put your property up for rent, and a tenant applied for your property. You would do a credit check. So if you do it through Landlord Easy, you can take a look at that service. But if you do it through Landlord Easy, you'll get all of the LTV orders, and you'll get the entire background checks, and you'll see all of the list of items where the tenant may have made late payments or have judgments against them, or creditors where they owe money. So in the system, it's going to show the tenant was on time, on time, on time, on time, on time, et cetera, et cetera. So if it's late, you as a landlord, when you're screening the tenant, you're going to see that, hey, this tenant has been having rent reporting and they've been late on the rent 8 out of the last 12 months. So you know what? I am not going to rent to this tenant. So that is actually one of the absolute best features of the rent reporting. That's why if every single landlord did this in this industry, then it's going to really help our screening processes 100%. And also how it affects the credit of the tenant if they go get a car loan or anything like that. It's going to see directly right on that credit check file that they're late on paying. And so this is going to negatively impact their credit. And tenants who pay the rent on time, and watch, as soon as you activate this service, you're going to see that tenants are going to start paying on time. And when they do, you as a landlord, when you're doing the credit check on this tenant, you're going to see that they have all these on-time rent payments, and that in itself, I mean, you can't lie. Nobody can do this. A tenant can't sign up for the service and just start reporting their rent. It doesn't work like that. Our system checks everything, and a tenant would not be able to do that. So this is actually like really real data that is collected, that is soundproof when it comes to screening tenants. So I think it's so important that every landlord in Canada does rent reporting. It's so very important. So it's a win-win for everyone. The tenant wins because they get great credit out of it. So it's super helpful. And it's really easy. So there's really not much to it. We've designed the system, and it's designed amazing. So we have several hundreds of tenants. And for us, with that many tenants, it only takes us about 2 hours every single month to do. But you're talking hundreds and hundreds of tenants. Now, if landlords have one tenant or five or 20 tenants, it's literally taking a couple minutes just to do. So all you're doing is you're going to the LandlordEzy.ca website, and you're going to register. And then once you're registered, you're going to have a paid membership. If you have one tenant, it's only $4.99. If you have more tenants, it's cheaper. But if you have one tenant, you just sign up for the service, you register your tenant, and you add your lease in there. So you're just going to upload your lease, put in all the lease details. And then now the system knows who your tenant is. The system knows who you are. The system knows about the lease, the values, what the tenants pay, the utilities. It literally knows everything, which is amazing. And as you start using Landlord Easy, you're going to see that this is going to be really helpful for you in managing your properties. So once you have that, you go through your first rent collection process and you mark the rent as paid. And then from there, you're just going to do the rent reports to Equifax. And if you want, if you have had this tenant for the last 7 months, you can literally mark them paid on time, on time, on time, on time, for the last 7 months, or you can mark them as late, 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 late. And then once we do our reports, we do them once a month. On the top of the Landlord Easy website, you'll see a little heading there. It's going to say how many days you have left to the next reporting period. So that's how many days you have. And when that happens, everything gets reported to Equifax. It usually takes processing time, about a week or so, once things are fully processed on the Equifax platform. And then it's reported. So at that time, if anybody does a credit check on any of these tenants, they're going to see that there. So that's pretty much it. It's not really difficult. And I think it's super important, landlords. I think this is very important. This is probably one of the most important tools that every single landlord in this industry should be doing, is the rent reporting. And trust me and believe me when I say this, if every single landlord did rent reporting, it would change this industry. And that's a fact, for all the reasons I've already mentioned in this video. And because, let's face it, if every single landlord did rent reporting, when you do the screening, you're going to see the history of the rents being paid, which is absolutely amazing. And I know, to me as a landlord and a property manager, and screening hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tenants, this is important data. And right now, when we screen tenants, we don't get to see this data right now because landlords, it's a brand new to the industry. So not many landlords are doing it. So now that it's here and we've simplified it, we've made it really easy. Now it's time to get this public, to get landlords doing this every single month. I think it's going to be really, really, really helpful to this industry. It's going to help every single landlord. Um, through our screening processes. And eventually, once we start using LandlordEzy.ca for all of our systems, we're going to find that this alone is going to be transforming this marketplace, and it's going to be helping landlords find better quality tenants, and it's going to help tenants become better tenants. And I always say this, if you watch my videos, I say it all the time. We are training tenants to be good tenants. And that's one thing that I believe through and through. I've been in property management for 23 years. So even longer than that. I was actually born into this business. My parents, when I was young, they started buying rental properties, and I started managing their properties when I was like 14 years old. And I remember I was 15 years old, and my father would drop me off at one of the houses, and I would have to go in and show the house. And this is something that he started to have me do when I was 15 years old. And I'm sitting here, these were all student rentals, and I'm sitting here with these students. They're 21 years old, and at that time I thought these kids were giants, and I was looking at them, and I just thought they were like really growing up adults. And now I look back at it, I'm like, wow, this is pretty funny. Where life takes you. But I've been doing this for my entire life, and I've been screening tenants my entire life. I've been signing leases my entire life. I've been evicting my entire life, all of it. So, I know this business inside and out. So this is why I invented Landlord Easy. I have a whole team behind me. We literally work almost 24 hours a day, and we are building and building and building and building so many neat things inside of Landlord Easy. It's getting better and better every single week. We're updating it, we're adding new things to it. So landlords, I'm trying to keep this service, and everything that we do with Landlord Easy is I'm trying to keep it as cheap as we possibly can, because I do have tens of thousands of dollars of expenses every single month. So this is something where I'm trying to keep it cheap, so that way I can afford to have a team behind me, and I can afford the inventions. And my whole goal with all of this is to change this industry, make it better for landlords. And if we're making this better for landlords, we're also making it better for tenants, because right now the system is completely divided, and it's a complete division. Landlords are against tenants, and tenants are against landlords, and I don't think it should be like that. I think that we can be unified, and I think the first step is teaching tenants and also teaching landlords how to manage properties. So thanks, landlords. I hope this video helped you, and share this video with other landlords, because I do think rent reporting is one of the most important tools in this industry, and I think you need to do it. So whatever platform you're using, just report the tenants. If you want to support Landlord Easy and myself and my team, jump on the LandlordEzy.ca website, jump on the OLHGroup.ca website. That's our property management company. Also, our real estate firm, listed Realty.ca. You can jump on that website. You can support us with these companies, because we are doing everything we can to help landlords. Thanks, landlords. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and happy landlording.